Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Samsung Gear S2 smartwatch. This is the 3G version, in case you are wondering. So, I've had this watch for about 2 months now, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it after 2 months, and I'm going to tell you if it's worth the money. To start off with, the price is about $150. That's what I found it for on Amazon, brand new. So $150 brand new for a smartwatch is pretty good compared to Apple Watches or the newer Samsung smartwatches. And so we're just going to open up the box and I'll show you what comes with it first. And then I'll give you guys my opinion. So here's the box, just a circle. Here it says dark gray is the color, and Samsung Gear S2. Here's some of the specifications if you want to pause the video and read that. So this, like I said earlier, this is the 3G version, so it does get 3G or maybe 4G connectivity, as it says right there, if you wanted to activate it through AT&T, it looks like. But I don't want service on it because you'd have to pay an extra monthly fee. Anyway, so when you open up the box, you get the watch itself, which I'm going to pull out and put to the side real quick. Get that piece, you're going to pull that out. Inside, you're going to get a wireless charger and a cord for it. Sorry, I got the trash in here. So you're going to get power brick and a cord that plugs in right on the back of this charger. It says Samsung on it. Very nice feeling charger. It's got nice rubber on the bottom so it doesn't slide around. And it's a kind of a soft finish to it, so it feels very nice, and definitely looks very nice. So there you go, you got the charger, and you get your typical quick start guide and manual. Then, let's see, let me just put all this trash in here. Next thing you're going to get, last thing you're going to get in here is extra bands. So these are this is the small size bands. It's stainless steel. And this is basically the same as the band that comes on it, just a smaller size for people who have small wrists. You can see it says small there. So that just goes right there. And then there's nothing really else in the box, so that's all you got. We're going to throw this to the side. And so just real quick, how to charge it. It's got a little magnetic base. As you can see, it's definitely magnetic. Just kidding, it is magnetic, but not that strong. So, as you can see, there is a little bit of a magnet there. And that's how you're going to charge it. So, because this watch is waterproof, as it said on the packaging, it's IP68, I believe. Let's check that. So yeah, IP68 certified dust and water resistant. And another thing, one thing that's nice about this is that it is compatible with Apple phones and Android phones, unlike Apple Watches, which are only compatible with iPhone. So yep, that's how the wireless charger works. Very simple. So I'm going to go over some nice features about this. First of all, as you may know, the 3G version, which this is, it's a bit thicker than the regular version without service. So, but one thing about this that is better than the other one, if you're not going to want service, but you might still want this, is the speaker. You can see the 3 holes right there. That's actually a little speaker, which is pretty convenient at times. You can download Spotify on this and download music. So I have used that speaker quite a few times, honestly. It doesn't sound the best, but it is pretty loud for what it is. So another great thing about this is Spotify is partnered with Samsung on these. So you can have Spotify downloaded on here, and if you have Spotify Premium, you can download your music to this directly, and you can use the Bluetooth compatibilities on here to connect earbuds or headphones via Bluetooth to the watch and then play music from the watch, or you can use it for speakers, which I have done before. So obviously you can see some scrapes on here a little bit. This is not the most durable watch for scrapes, as in this is stainless steel, as it said before, but you can see there's some scrapes here from scraping on concrete. And then there's also a very minor scrape. Let's see if I can focus it. Right here on the bezel, the rotating bezel here, there's a little bit of scraping here, and it honestly didn't take much to scrape that. So that's one con about it, is it's just not the most rugged smartwatch, though it is waterproof and it is made out of great materials and it's very good quality. Just saying, it does scratch up a little bit, so that's one thing to consider. And this band, this is a good, nice rubber band. It's very comfortable and it fits well. It looks nice. One complaint is it kind of gets smudges on it, but it's not that noticeable from further away. If my phone will focus, there you go. It's not that noticeable from farther away, and it is nice rubber, very bendy. So here on the back, let's see what it says. I'll just show you real quick, and if you want to pause the video, you can check that out. There's just some writing on it. And so the back here of this looks different than the regular version, since this is the 3G. So the regular version would have like a trash can and stuff on here, and some people say that this how to tell it's fake is if it doesn't have the trash can on it, but this is just different because it's a 3G version. So that is a misconception. I thought this was fake at first when I got it, but I did some research and it's not. It's just because it's a different version. So there you go. And on the bottom here, I'm going to show you real quick. These are very easy to take off, these bands. You just pull on it. Hold on. So you push that back and then pull upward. Okay, maybe it's not that easy. Let's see. There you go. So you push down on here and then pull back. And this does work on a kind of cool thing about this is, since it's got wireless charging, if you take off the band, both of the bands, and lay it flat on a Samsung wireless charger, then it does charge. So if you just laid this flat on a wireless charger, it charges. It's kind of cool if you lose your other wireless charger. So this thing does attract fingerprints very easily, and it's kind of annoying. But another thing I didn't mention on here is the heart rate sensor it's got right there. It's pretty dang accurate. This also counts steps and all that stuff that Fitbits do, pretty much everything like that. So as I did mention earlier, this is waterproof. It's also a good thing about this is also has Wi-Fi connectivity. So like I said earlier about the Spotify for downloading music, you can do that off of Wi-Fi. And you can also use Wi-Fi through like your phone. This connects to your phone via Bluetooth. So when you have it connected to your phone, you get messages and everything on the watch itself, and it vibrates whenever you get notifications, which is pretty nice. And you also get Snapchat notifications for those of you Snapchat users like me. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, show you what it looks like. Power button right here, you press and hold it. Samsung Gear S2. Here's the rotating bezel. Very premium, and I really love the feel of this rotating bezel. It's very satisfying, and it's just like more convenient than the Apple Watches where you gotta like twist the little thing. So right now I have it on power saving mode, and what that does is it basically makes everything black and white, and then it just tells the time and gives you notifications. So if I had this connected to my phone, it would give me notifications, and that's pretty much all you get to do on here. It doesn't track your steps or anything. So if I turn power saving off, this is touchscreen if you didn't know. Ooh, trying to do this behind the camera. There we go. So you can see right here that little scrape. It's not that noticeable. Anyway. So there's no SIM or service. Always comes up with that. But here we have the main page. I have it, you can customize this. There's lots and lots of different options you can do if you press and hold it. There's other ones, all these, and then there's even more that you can download and customize. See, it says stylize. You can change the colors and everything on it, and change like what it shows and all the information. But I like this one the most because it's simple, doesn't use a lot of battery with a lot of colors. And I'll tell you guys how to manage the battery on this too. So it does have a pretty good battery life depending on how you use it. But anyway, here we go. You get to customize what apps are on here, and then when you click, oh, wrong one. Anyway, Spotify, for example, might need Wi-Fi. Well, you can, if you have Spotify Premium, you can download music on Spotify. I've done that, but for Spotify Premium, you can only download to 3 devices, and I have more than 3 devices with my music, so I did not keep the downloads on here. But anyway, if you go to apps, then you get all your other apps, messages, phone, contacts. I'll just go through these slowly so you guys can read them. Gear Torch, it's kind of cool. Probably sucks up a lot of battery life, but if you need it in an emergency, you got a little kind of flashlight. It's pretty bright in the dark, It works. Gallery. This is a very cool thing. One of the reasons I purchased this. Very handy for school, if you know what I mean. It's pretty cool. You can download pictures from your phone onto the gallery on this. Now this only has, I think it's either a 4 GB or 8 GB storage, so there's not a lot of storage for music and things and pictures, but I haven't had a problem with it so far. So you got maps. This is kind of cool. I think if it's connected to your phone, it can use your location, and you can use Google Maps on here. Next page, settings. So it's got one thing that's kind of cool is it's got news when you're connected to your phone or Wi-Fi. It can load news and keep you updated on everything. News briefing, music, you can download music, emails, find my phone. That's a pretty nice feature. If you lose your phone, you can use that and call it. I've actually used that once in class. One of my friends took my phone, so I used that and it made my phone ring, so I know who took it. It's kind of cool. Voice memo and Samsung Pay. So there's other apps that you can download. I just didn't want to download a ton of apps. These are mostly all ones that are already downloaded when you get this, but I wanted to keep my apps limited so that I don't run out of storage, you know. So here's the back button, and it's pretty much what you get. This is my Spotify. I have this set, as I said before, you can customize everything you have on here. So I have Spotify set, so it's like pulled up already right there, and you can adjust the volume and everything. I don't know why it's not loading. Maybe it's because it doesn't have service. But you also get alarms, all that stuff. You can scroll through here and add all the widgets you want, but that's what I've got on here. So now that I'm done with all that, I'm going to talk about what I think about it. So battery life is the first thing I think is one of the most important things about smartwatches. So the battery life on this, depending on how you use it, I'm going to tell you how I use it and how long I get on it. But if you're using it heavily, like using Spotify and using it for music, connecting Bluetooth, it'll last a half a day to a full day. You know, it really depends also on the screen brightness. Right now the screen brightness is at 0 or at 1 or whatever. It's at the lowest. So if you swipe down here, you can get the kind of some settings, and if you go over here to brightness, you get I always keep it on the lowest because honestly it's not even that low. Like, I can see it all the time, and if I'm out in the sun, it's got a sensor, so it'll automatically brighten the screen if I'm like out in the sun, so that's never a problem. And when I'm indoors, 1 brightness is plenty. So if you keep it at 1 brightness, it definitely helps the battery life a lot. Another thing that affects the battery life is the feature to where, like, when you have it on your wrist and you like flick your wrist upward, it'll turn on the screen, and I have that set off because I found that uses up the battery life a lot faster when, like, just everyday usage. If you're just using your hands a lot, you know, it'll automatically do that even if you're not looking at it. So that turns the screen on a lot, and that uses up a lot of battery. So if you keep that off, you can definitely at least get a day out of it, as long as you're not like using it constantly. And then, yeah, the most I've gotten out of it was like 3 days, having it connected to my phone, just getting notifications. And also, so like another thing is, if you just want to get notifications and you don't want like all the fancy stuff like music and all that, you can easily just turn it into power saving mode, and that still gives you your notifications. It still vibrates and everything, but that saves battery a lot, and then you can get about 3 days out of it, of just, you know, being connected to your phone and all that. So it's pretty good battery life. I was honestly surprised. In the beginning, when I first got this, I think you had to break in the battery, because when I first got it, it drained pretty fast, but then after I drained it the first time, it got a lot better, and I'm quite surprised and impressed on how it does now. So it's pretty good battery life. And then I'd say if you're using it, you know, off power saving mode, still connected to your phone and all that, I've done tests with school and everything. It'll last you a good day to 2 days, as long as you're not like always playing on it. You know, if you're using the screen a lot, it'll die faster, but it's not really. It's pretty dang good. I wouldn't worry about having less than a day worth. And then also, if you have, I turn off all the things that I don't need. So Wi-Fi, I don't really ever use that. And then Bluetooth, I'll only have Bluetooth on if I'm having it connected to my phone. But if you don't have it connected to your phone, turn off Bluetooth and turn off like all your connections pretty much. That'll save a lot of battery. And then it'll just tell you your time and count your steps and all that. But as you can see, if you just swipe down, you get your battery percentage up there. Standalone, you can see, because it's not connected to my phone. And pretty much, you can also, another thing is when it's connected to your phone, you can make and receive calls from the watch itself. And then you can also send and receive messages, which is pretty sweet. So I've used it a couple times. If you get a message from someone, it'll come up with some automatic replies that you can choose out of. And I've used that before. It's pretty convenient. You just scroll through the replies and then click on it and it'll send it. So that's pretty nice. And then using it as a phone, I usually use it to receive calls. Whenever someone's calling me, it'll start like vibrating and then I can answer it from the watch. It's got a microphone and a speaker because it's a 3G version. So that's a pretty nice feature about it. And I really don't have many cons about it, honestly. It's a pretty great watch, especially for the price. Definitely probably one of the best watches you can get for $150. This is so Samsung has newer watches out, like the Gear S3, but this has all the software that the Gear S3 does. So like all the like the operating system and all the updates to it, it's up to date with the newer ones. It's just pretty much a different physical like body, and the newer ones might have better battery life and things like that. But the operating system is not out of date, so that's a great thing about it. And if you're looking to get a smartwatch for, not too much money, not like $300, then I'd say this is a great option. That's what I was looking for, and it worked out great for me. It also looks very nice on the wrist. I can show you real quick. It's pretty easy to put on. And it is, I guess one of the cons would be that it is pretty thick. It's thicker than an Apple Watch. My friend has an Apple Watch. It's pretty thick, as you can see, but it's really not that bad. Sometimes if you're like dressing fancy, and sometimes it doesn't fit under the sleeve of a dress shirt, so that could be a con for you. I went to a wedding once and it fit under the sleeve of that shirt, so it wasn't a problem for me. It definitely looks very nice and kind of sporty, but I like to wear it around. It makes me feel kind of more official, and it looks very nice, and it's handy in a lot of ways. So that's gonna wrap it up pretty much. If you have any questions, just comment it in my comments, and if you want to see the unboxing video for this, go to my channel. I'll have a link up in the corner here Sorry, I messed up. Okay, I will have a link in the corner up here for you to visit my channel and check out my other videos. I've got videos on speakers and all sorts of other tech. It would be great if you would subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.